Warning, this content may be disturbing to some audiences. Subscribe, if you dare. This would solve the energy crisis. I will become the richest person who ever lived, and take over the world. Hey everybody, welcome to ANECDOSED. People ask Reddit. You gain the ability to stop time. After stopping time, what's the first thing you're going to do? Number 1. I love photography, so I would probably take loads of high-res pictures. Like freeze time in the right moment to capture the light bulb coming on when I open the fridge. Super fast objects, stuff like that. Try a lot of impossible experiments to see what happens and capture it with a good quality camera. Number 2. I'd probably just walk around and look at the absurdity of modern life. People rushing in busy city centers, people frozen in rage as they're stuck in traffic. Look at all that mankind has accomplished. Then, if I can flip time back on again, I would just go to a beach that is unaltered and just watch as life resumes to its ways again. Number 3. I'm a vet neurosurgeon. All I can think of is the freaking amazing surgery I could do if I didn't have to worry about bleeding or anesthesia problems. Like I could pop a brain tumor out, make sure everything was neat and pretty and close up in an instant. Number 4. Start it back up just to make sure I can. Then I'll stop it again to make sure I can still do that. Then I'll panic thinking I stopped it too soon after restarting it and restart it again. Feeling relieved and a little silly, I stop it again. This goes on for several hours at least. Number 5. I would test the limits of the power. Can I bring other people's into the frozen time? Can I move stuff around? Do I age? Can I make machines work? Then I would probably do a bunch of illegal stuff like stealing my food, money, get into people's homes to see how their life compare to mine. I would probably save people if I feel like it, or cause chaos for the same reason. And then I'll wake up in my SCP containment chamber and remember the good old days. Well, the old days really? Or not, there's not a lot to remember when you've spent your entire life in a 5x5 temporal cell. Number 6. Walk around seeing what happens when I move stuff. If I throw a ball, does it completely freeze the moment it leaves the hand, or does it still move normally? Then I would just move every small object I can, causing general minor mayhem. Number 7. When you restarted time, you'd have to make sure you were in the exact same pose that you were in when you stopped time. In a casino, you're being recorded by a bazillion cameras, and if you glitch from one pose to another in a single frame, on several cameras, when nobody else does, someone may start to ask questions about WTF is going on with you. Number 8. Gaining the ability to stop time is not as straightforward as it seems and requires several questions to be answered for what action to take next. 1. Do you stop aging? This is the least important question in this list, but is still important. Whether or not you age while time is paused greatly determines how long you'd, or I'd, use it. If you do age, every second you spend paused subtracts a second from how far in time you'll live in the real world. Using it every day for several minutes adds up quickly. 2. How does kinetic energy work? If time is paused, then if you move, your speed and acceleration is effectively infinite, and since F equals ma, your force would equal infinite. With infinite force, moving even the slightest could theoretically destroy the universe. You might not even be able to move though. Moving requires you to push air out of the way, so moving in this stopped reality requires you to move air even though it is frozen in time. 3. How does gravity work? Gravity requires time to be applied, so taking a single step would theoretically make you start floating upwards into the sky. 4. How does light work? You know the problem with being faster than light is that you can only live in darkness meme. Essentially that. Since light would be frozen too, you'd have to walk forward in order for you to see. You'd also leave a trail of darkness behind you since light can't move to fill that space. There are likely many more problems that I just can't think of right now. If we just say that it's magic and that I don't age, I'd probably abuse the heck out of it for good and for my personal benefit. I'd do things like 1. Join the military and obliterate all our enemies. 2. Give myself all the time I need to think, de-stress, and rest. 3. Eliminate all time pressures for writing, any future tests, etc. Number 9. So stop time when you're outside, or in the washroom, rearrange cards in a baccarat shoe, go back outside, restart time, go to the baccarat table, wait a bit until the dealer gets to the prepared section, enjoy. Number 10. The thing you'd have to be careful with is the cameras though. Our Lord Cage made a movie about this, about looking forward in time to his advantage. But if you could stop and start time as you wish, the cameras would notice your change in your positions and there'd be suspicions. My solution: carry 3 fancy handkerchiefs with you at all times. When you're ready to stop time, set 2 handkerchiefs down at shoulder width apart in front of you, place one on the chair you're sitting. Sit and place your hands on the handkerchiefs and close your eyes. If anything, they would think this is some weird-ass ritual you think will help you win. What they don't realize is this is to ensure you don't look out of place when you start the universe up again. Works every time. I mean, it would work every time. Number 11. Pausing and resuming time would cause you to look as though you're skipping for people who aren't aware you were pausing time. For example, imagine you are planning on moving someone's glass with these time powers. You will need to pause time, move the glass and resume time. Well, if you resume time after you move the glass, then you will have essentially teleported in the eyes of those who were looking at you. Okay, so what then? Well, you could pause time, move the glass and then return to the position you paused time at before you resume time. Well, that still doesn't fly. To those who are looking at you, you will still look as though you're skipping. Like lagging in a video game. You will not be able to perfectly reposition yourself to the exact position, face made, eye position, etc., before you resume time. Well then, how would you get away with the changing of cards in a casino? You most likely can't, at least not for long. Just like moving yourself, anything you subsequently move will be very difficult to reposition without causing suspicion to others. What I propose is more lucrative but requires someone who you trust, or someone you can teach to trust you. Either A, tell a close friend or relative of your powers, or B, prove to a close friend or relative that you can guarantee them a win in almost any poker game. Now that you have a person, let's call them K, you can move on with the card trick, which uses the manipulation of time. To do this, you and K must have some form of communication, and with technology nowadays it shouldn't be hard to find a discrete earpiece to do so. With your communications, K must find a poker table. Texas Hold'em works too, so long as the game does not require you to move anything to gain an advantage. Anyway, with K at the table you will need to find a bathroom, lock yourself in and listen closely to K as he plays the game. If you are perceptive and understand the game being played, then you can pause time, exit the bathroom, look at all the players' cards, return to the bathroom and resume time. With the information you now have, you should easily be able to tell K how to make their next move. Low risk of getting your powers found out, high risk of being kicked out of the casino for cleaning house. Number 12. I would make some serious experiments before starting to do childish things. And if I had a telescope, stare at stars for hours. Number 13. Cheat on tests. Sleep. I could sleep whenever I want and the people would think I never sleep, reach in places I need to go and whatever else I could think. Number 14. Step 1. Start a stand where people tell me their wishes. Step 2. I stop time to get those things for them. Step 3. They start worshipping me. Step 4. Step 5. Profit. Number 15. There's very little good this power can actually be used for. I mean, sure, you can save people from being hit by a car or from a burning building, but you'd have to be actively looking for these things or just get extremely lucky, and even then the odds are low. Whereas evil stuff is just so easy to do. Take money out of people's wallets, steal anything you can carry, strip people naked, dress them up in different clothes than they were originally wearing. 2 options: go extreme with a completely different outfit, or minor change it to something they would wear but different from what they came out in, and gaslight them into thinking they hadn't been wearing that green hoodie, with the added confusion that when they get home the green hoodie isn't there. Did it even exist? But yeah, messing with people is way easier to do than trying to be a hero. Number 16. Haha, changing people's outfits on them would be hilarious, not in a pervy way, just to see the confusion. Number 17. After playing out all practical jokes possible, I think I'd try to make sure that I'd be the best person I could in any situation. Instead of reacting grumpy, unenthused, or indifferent about people and things, I'd take time to think about my reactions and make sure I'm being the best person I could be. I really think I'd help the quality of anybody's life. Number 18. Actually have some good sleep. Also, when time is stopped, if you interact with anything it will break, because it's happening infinitely fast. But that also means that the second I move I evaporate into nothingness. But let's say that I can only stop their time, not mine, and I am also invulnerable while time is stopped. In that case, if I push something without breaking it, I can send anything back in time to the start of the universe. Remember, infinitely fast means it's going infinitely faster than light. If this kind of stop isn't really a stop, it just gets faster times 1/c, that means I am actually moving at the speed of light, which would have the same stopping time effect, but it's much cooler. I would create a reactor, which works by me throwing stuff into it at the speed of light. Every atom that I throw into it will be converted into its mass times the speed of light squared amount of light. This would solve the energy crisis. I will become the richest person who ever lived, and take over the world. Anyone who tries to kill me will be evaporated immediately. Once I rule the world, I will build an army of soldiers carrying the guns of lightning. I will become God. I will be worshipped as the savior of this universe. I will be everything. Nothing can stop me. I will rule the galaxy, the universe. And then, I could get some actually good sleep. Number 19. First thing? Take a damn nap. Like 9 hours. More if I feel like it. Just sleep until I feel totally rested without ever having to worry about having to go to work, to be somewhere, or wasting my off days just sleeping. I want to feel the sensation of 100% full rest with 0% guilt. Then I'll actually decide on what to do. Number 20. Can I unfreeze time? If so, draw mustaches on everyone's faces with Sharpie. Switch plates around at restaurant tables so person A has what person B had, and vice versa. I'm assuming that I don't age or have any bodily changes, so I can't work out and get super buff, but I can go to the library and learn as many languages as possible. Learn to knit and put little sweaters on random dogs. Take pictures of people from behind and then text it to them so when I unfreeze time they'll see the text and flip out. Give my friends awesome presents. Dye someone's hair. Switch around soccer balls and footballs. Pull down the pants of people on TV. Is this a recurring power? If so, after this first time, I'd claim to be able to teleport and use it casually. It'd be awesome. Make sure to share your personal story in the comments below and have the opportunity to be featured in a future video. Also, if you like these topics, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button to continue seeing more content like this every day. See you next time.